Sam Heughan's year had been nothing short of a storm. Between carrying the lead in the Royal Shakespeare Company's Macbeth promotional tours and the crushing weight of endless gossip, his life was a balancing act with no space for rest. The role of Macbeth demanded stamina, nights of grueling performances followed by days consumed with media appearances. On stage, fans saw only the commanding, magnetic presence. What they didn't see were the skipped meals, the sleepless rehearsals, and the quiet moments when exhaustion pressed down like a shadow. The weight of rumors. Off stage, the noise was just as relentless. For months, whispers swirled about Sam's relationships, alleged backstage conflicts, even speculation about his health. Social media dissected every candid shot, every pause in an interview, every glance exchanged with a co-star. Sam had endured gossip before, but this time it cut deeper, personal, invasive, draining more than just his patience. That night, the theater was packed to the rafters. Critics, VIP guests, and devoted fans filled every seat, buzzing with anticipation for another electrifying Macbeth. Sam arrived early, running through fight choreography and warming his voice. But something was off. A stagehand noticed his sluggish movements, the tension in his shoulders. "Rough week?" they asked. Sam forced a smile. "Something like that." Minutes before curtain, fully dressed in costume, Sam suddenly sat heavily on a bench, pressing a hand against his chest. The stage manager called the medic at once. The decision was swift. Sam would not go on. Discreetly, he was escorted out of the theater, avoiding the press outside, and slipped into a car bound for the hospital. The phone call that changed the night. In London, Caitríona Balfe was winding down after a long day when her phone lit up. A friend from the theater world spoke quickly. "Caitríona, you should know." Sam collapsed before the show. "He's in the hospital." Silence hung in the air before she asked the only question that mattered. "How bad?" "They're still running tests. He's awake, but not in great shape." What the caller didn't know, what almost no one knew, was that Caitríona was in the early months of pregnancy. It was a precious secret she and her family guarded fiercely. Yet the thought of Sam lying alone in a sterile hospital room was unbearable. Balancing risk and devotion. Pregnancy came with rules. Rest, avoid stress, don't overexert. Her partner urged caution. "It's late, it's a long drive. You need to take care of yourself." Caitríona's voice was steady but unshakable. "I'll be careful. But I have to be there." The journey into the night. The car ride was silent, city lights fading into stretches of dark countryside. One hand rested protectively on her stomach, the other clutched her phone as she checked for updates. She hadn't told anyone at the hospital she was coming, partly to avoid attention, partly because she wanted this moment to belong to them alone. Arriving at the hospital, she took a deep breath. She had no idea what condition she'd find Sam in. But she knew one thing, her presence mattered. Visiting hours had ended, but when staff recognized her name, they let her through. Down a dim hallway, her footsteps quickened, her heart pounding harder than she wanted to admit. At Sam's door, she paused, not from doubt, but to steady herself. She couldn't let him see the fear on her face before she could give him reassurance. The first glance. Sam was pale but awake, scrolling idly on his phone. When he looked up and saw her, surprise flashed in his eyes. "Kate, what are you?" She crossed the room quickly. "Don't talk. You look like hell." Half a joke, but her voice cracked. Sam caught it instantly. She was holding something back. For a moment she simply stood beside him, her hand on the bed rail. She wanted to hug him, to spill the secret she'd been hiding, but she pushed the impulse aside. Right now, it was about him. "You didn't have to come," Sam murmured. "Yes, I did," she said firmly. "I couldn't not." The unspoken truth. Sam had no idea she was pregnant. He didn't know that the late-night drive had been both a gesture of love and a test of her own limits. Outside that room, whispers were already spreading. A nurse recognized her. Within an hour, a social media post appeared, Caitríona Balfe seen visiting Sam Heughan at the hospital. Looked emotional. Something serious must be happening. By morning, a fan-snapped photo surfaced online, Caitríona at Sam's bedside, holding his hand through the rail, her head bowed. The picture went viral. The speculation begins. Entertainment outlets pounced, Caitríona Balfe rushes to Hospitalized Sam Huon. Emotional visit raises new questions. In fan forums, another narrative started. Some noticed her flowing clothes and wondered aloud if she might be expecting. Others dismissed it as baseless gossip. But the seed was planted. Meanwhile, Sam, grateful for her presence, grew worried when he saw how exhausted she looked. "You shouldn't have come all this way. You look tired," he said softly. She brushed it off. "I'm fine. I just needed to see you with my own eyes." But inside, Caitríona felt the strain of her decision, knowing it carried risks, but convinced it was the right one. The public moment. The next morning, photographers gathered outside. Caitríona slipped out through a side entrance, but one long lens shot captured her walking to a car, her face unreadable, one hand resting instinctively against her stomach. The image lit up social media. Some fans celebrated the idea she might be expecting. Others condemned the invasion of her privacy, urging focus on Sam's recovery. Sam's perspective. Inside, scrolling through the headlines, Sam felt both frustration and gratitude. He hated that Caitríona's life was now under the same microscope that had hounded him. Yet he knew her visit had changed everything. "She gave me something no doctor could, peace of mind. That probably healed me faster than anything else," he told a friend. The statement. 2 days later, Sam posted a photo from his hospital bed. He sat up, Caitríona beside him, each holding a mug of tea. His caption read, "On the mend, thanks to the incredible hospital staff, and to this one, who showed up when I needed her most. I owe you, Kate." Caitríona reposted it with a single heart emoji. No word about the pregnancy rumors. None was needed. The recovery. When Sam was discharged, Caitríona made sure he had a driver and assistant to get him home safely. She returned to London quietly, avoiding the public eye for a few days. The gossip didn't vanish overnight, but headlines shifted from scandal to admiration. "Loyalty like this is rare," one columnist wrote. Whatever the truth about Caitríona's private life, what matters is her willingness to put someone else's needs above her own comfort. In the weeks that followed, Sam eased back into performances. Caitríona checked in often but kept the spotlight firmly on him. Friends who knew her secret were astonished at how she balanced protecting her own health with showing up for Sam. Closing reflection. In a world where every celebrity move can be twisted into a headline, quiet acts of loyalty shine brighter than any spotlight. Caitríona Balfe's choice to be at Sam's side that night, despite her own private challenges, wasn't made for the cameras or the press. It was made for trust, for history, for a bond that doesn't break under pressure. And while the world speculated about her flowing dress, those inside that hospital room knew the truth. It wasn't about rumors, or even pregnancy. It was about being there when it mattered most, no matter the cost.